يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بفضل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الذين ذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. صل على محمد وعلى محمد. يقول الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآله. Once again, my dear brothers and sisters, we thank Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for gracing us with tonight, the 11th night of the holy month of Ramadan. We can all see the holy month of Ramadan is moving very fast. What is important is not just fasting, it's hoping for the acceptance of Almighty Allah when it comes to all our acts of worship and devotions in these beautiful and holy months. Another important thing is for the month to change us, to become good people and better human beings, and to become Ahlullah, people of God, through the spiritual exercises that we go through in these holy months. The verse I've just quoted is a known verse to all of us. It's Quran 33, verse number 33. This ayah easily tells us the profound estate or the fada'il or virtues of the Ahlul Bayt by all standard. Now, departing from this verse, our topic of tonight is looking at the relationship between Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba alayhi salam and the Holy Quran. You remember a night before last night, we looked at the relationship of the Lady of Light and the Holy Quran, and how this great lady explored numerous verses of the Holy Quran, improving some very powerful arguments. So likewise, our examination of tonight will be of the following brief stages. The first stage will look at Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba alayhi salam and the Holy Quran. See how this great Imam built the love for the Holy Quran, and how Imam Hassan alayhi salam invited his lovers and followers to hold onto the Holy Quran. I'm doing all these, brothers and sisters, to encourage all to hold onto Quran throughout your life. Not to spur moments and times without holding onto the Holy Quran. So we'll look at also how Imam used verses of the Holy Quran to prove certain arguments in some of his sermons. And then the last stage of the examination will then focus on some of the tafsirs offered by Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Because Ahlul Bayt, as I mentioned on numerous occasions, they are our main teachers of the Holy Quran. You cannot, under any circumstance, take any lesson of Quran from anyone but the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And whoever gives you any lesson of the Quran, the only criteria to judge whether it's right or wrong is to see what the Holy Prophets and Ahlul Bayt said in relation to that particular teaching you are receiving. So let me ask you a very quick question, just to begin the discussion of tonight. I know we start very late because I came a bit late tonight. If someone asks you a question, kindly pay attention to this question. You, as a lover of Imam Hassan, as a Shia of Imam Hassan, tell me or mention any verse that you know discussing about Imam Hassan in the Quran. If you know any verse in the Quran, so Ayat al-Tatir is the common one, isn't it? Ayat al-Tatir is the common one. Quran 33, verse 33. It's a common one because Allah purified them. Which one? Verse. Should always know the verses. Verse number 9. Excellent. Surah Dahar or Surah Insan. إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا. We feed you for the sake of Allah. And of course, we do not desire any reward nor thankfulness from you. We give you for the sake of Allah. So that's another verse. So 33, verse 33. Quran, Dahar, verse 9. Any other one? Which ayah, Surah Rahman? كأنهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان. That's ta'wil. Yeah, that's ta'wil. So it's not a direct one. But you write. Yeah, Surah Kawthar. So these are all indirect. But I'm looking for direct. So Dahar, Ayat al-Tathir. Ahsantum mubahala. That's the main one. Mubahala. Chapter Ali Imran. Verse 61. فَمَنْ حَاجَّكَ فِيهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ فَقُلْ تَعَالَوْا نَدْعُوا أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ. So that أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ, Imam Hassan is one of them, isn't it? So that's the simplest one. Now, bear with me, let's go to the second stage of the examination. Where Imam Hassan, alayhi salatu wassalam, in some of his powerful sermons, referred to the verses of the Holy Quran to support whatever statement or argument he's making. Kindly pay attention to these verses. You know, at one point, Imam Hassan was giving a powerful sermon. And in that sermon, he said, أَنَا مِنْ أَهْلِ بَيْتِ الَّذِينَ افترض الله مودتهم على كل مسلم. I am one of the Ahlul Bayt that Allah made their love compulsory or obligatory upon every Muslim. You see, the love for Ahlul Bayt is wajib. Failing to love Ahlul Bayt one will be questioned about it on the day of Qiyamah. Certain loves are wajib. The love for Allah and the love for the Ahlul Bayt. One ayah of the Quran says, Ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasula wa ulil amri minkum. Obey Allah, obey His Messenger, and those who are tasked with authority amongst you. Those who are tasked with authority amongst you, here refers to the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. So Imam Hassan, kindly pay attention to this sermon. Mention that Allah made our love obligatory upon every single Muslim. And then immediately after this statement, you know what he did? He quoted a verse of the Holy Quran, Surah Shura, verse 23. Which ayah is that? قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. Then look at the last part of that, is the most interesting part. وَمَنْ يَكْتَرِفْ. Very important ayah. Hasana nazil fiha husna. Allah in the Quran is making it very clear. La as'alukum alayhi ajra. I will not ask you of any reward, Prophet, for whatever I brought, except the love of my near of kin. But then the next part of the ayah, وَمَنْ يَكْتَرِفْ حَسَنَةً نَزِدْ فِيهَا حُسْنًا. Whoever does any good, we will add him more good. Here, good here, referring to the mawadda of Ahlul Bayt. So having that mawadda is a hasana. And establishing that mawadda, you will be increased in hasana. So Imam, alayhi salam, saying, our mawadda is wajib, and quoted these verse of the Holy Quran to say that our mawadda is a hasana. And the more you increase your mawadda for us, the more Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala increases the hasana in your life. So you know, brothers and sisters, this mawadda for Ahlul Bayt is not words of mouth. It's not. Mawadda for Ahlul Bayt is determination and actions. Anyone who is determined to take his mawadda for Ahlul Bayt to the next level, Allah will increase in your hasanat. What action am I talking about? So you remember very well, the word mawadda is two-sided. It's not one-sided. Mahabba is one-sided. What do I mean mahabba one-sided? Some said mahabba is something in the heart. But mawadda is the translation of mahabba in life. So mawadda, you play your part, Ahlul Bayt play their part towards you. That's why you see when it comes to marriage, between husband and wife, Allah uses mawadda. Why mawadda? Because it's two-sided. So if I and you call out that we love Ahlul Bayt, certain actions are expected from us. One of the actions is what? Follow the footsteps of Ahlul Bayt. The haram, Ahlul Bayt stay away from. The halal, Ahlul Bayt did, you do the same. Number two, Ahlul Bayt, there are certain days they are happy, and there are certain days they are sad. The institution of mawadda requires you to do the same. Number three, Ahlul Bayt put up the best of all akhlaq in their lives. You are expected to do the same. And most importantly, Ahlul Bayt had the ma'arifah of Allah. And you are expected to build your ma'arifah for Allah. So that's number one. Imam uses kulla as'alukum alayhi ajra. My point is what? He uses the verse of Quran. Let's go to number two. Again, in one of his sermons, he gave a very profound and long sermon in the holy city of Medina. And look at what Imam Hassan said in the sermon. He said, beautifully, نحن حزب الله المفلحون. We, the Ahlul Bayt, we are the successful group of Allah. Then he said, وَنَحْنُ إِتْرَةُ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ الْأَقْرَبُونَ. And we are the family of the Holy Prophet who are the closest to Allah. But look at the next line, just look at it. The point is about Quran. Then Imam said, وَأَهْلُ بَيْتِهِ الطَّيِّبُونَ الطَّاهِرُونَ. And we are his Ahlul Bayt who are tayyibun, who are pure, and tahirun, who are purified. Then he said, وَأَحْدُ الثَّكَلَيْنِ الَّذَيْنِ خَلَّفَهُمَا الرَّسُولُ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَآلِهِ. And we are one of the two heavy things that the Holy Prophet left behind. But towards the end, you know what he said? وَالثَّانِي كِتَابُ اللَّهِ. And the second one is the book of Allah. You get the point? We are one of the two. And the second of the two is the book of Allah. My interest is what? To drive you, to attract you towards loving Quran. And you see, Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam is mentioning Quran here. One of the two. You hold one without the other one, that one is crippled. You have to hold the two. Then you know what he said? فيه تفضيل كل شيء. He said, in that book of Allah, explanation of everything is inside. Then he quoted ayah of the Holy Quran. لا يأتيه الباطل من بين يديه ولا من خلفه تنزيل من حكيم حميد. Discussing Quran. So because you see this Quran, لا يأتيه الباطل. False and lies does not come next to Quran. He said any corner of Quran you look at it, Quran is not associated with falsehood. And Quran is from Hamid, Hakim. Praiseworthy, the wise. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And it's very, very important, my dear brothers and sisters, that our Imam in his sermon would invite his lovers and followers to reflect on certain verses of the Holy Quran, to highlight to them that I explain these verses, so I and these verses are the only two that can lead you to the salvation you desire. And that is why you look at again another Quran. فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. We mentioned this ayah before, but Imam Hassan mentioned this ayah again in his khutbah. That when you have any quarrel, any argument, any disagreement, take it back to Quran and the Messenger of Allah. Meaning take it back to Allah and the Ahlul Bayt. Alayhimus salatu was salam. This chapter Nisa, verse 59, this ayah I've just quoted. But now look at this question. I may ask you a question. Pay attention. You know, Imam Hassan, there was a time he would dress beautifully, Of course, any time Ahlul Bayt, zina. But there was a time he was just like beautifully. So he came to the mosque. Some of the companions came to him. And they asked him, why are you dressed so beautifully? Because of course, people are under the notion that if you are of that level or you are Maulana, you deserve always the low level. You deserve secondary. That's the notion, isn't it? So, Imam, they came and asked him. They said, you have to be very humble. It's true, you have to be humble. What do you think would be the answer? Of course, I'm going to share with you the answer Imam gave. But I'm asking all of you here. He came to the mosque, dressed beautifully. MashaAllah. What will be the answer?
You quoted some verse from Quran?
No, you quoted that, but what are the verse? You've seen it before, isn't it? Or you haven't?
Coming to speak to God?
Yeah, so I'm coming to speak to God. So why am I wearing nicely?
Present yourself in front of Allah.
Eh?
Present yourself in front of Allah like you present yourself in front of others, in a sense.
Yes, so you're comparing Allah with others. He said you present yourself to God the way you present to others. It's a good one, definitely. But then I have a question. So you're comparing Allah with others? But that's a good answer though. So why do I need to dress to impress people? Yeah, but why do I impress people and not God? Oh, definitely. Sometimes, you go to a program, you go Welada, Jashin, everybody dresses well. So the question is, why do you dress well on Jashin? That's the same question. Okay. Thanking of the blessings of Allah, which tomorrow we'll discuss, in fact, from Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Somebody asked him that ayah. What does it mean? Tomorrow we'll discuss that, inshallah. Okay. Appreciation of the blessings of Allah. Good one, good one.
It's a half I want that to be clean.
Yeah, cleanliness. So somebody said cleanliness doesn't mean that I wear expensive clothes. But I need to maintain cleanliness in my house, in the room, everything. MashaAllah, these are all good ones. I'm going to give you a verse. Check that verse. Chapter Al-A'raf, verse 31. Huh? No, it's okay so long as it's not israf, it's okay. Yeah, that is okay definitely, so long as it's not israf. So you check chapter A'raf, you know this ayah. Verse 31. Chapter 7. Verse 31. Okay, you've seen the verse. Look at the verse, and then you will tell me. Imam Hassan gave this verse to them. Ahlul Bayt, man, oceans of knowledge.
So dress properly whenever you are in worship.
Yeah. So you see, Allah says, Ya Bani Adama, khudhu zinatakum inda kulli masjidin. وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. Beautiful ayah. Very beautiful. This is lessons for all of us. The best place to dress is when you go for salat. Online. The best place to dress is salat time. This is what the ayah is saying, not me. Imam Hassan, and I will give you the explanation he gave. Look at the ayah. You all understand the English, read it. Ya bani Adam khudhu zinatakum inda kulli masjid. خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين. كلوا واشربوا. But no waste. No israf. Last part of the ayah talking about israf. Shida, you asked me about israf the other night. You asked me about israf the other night. Last part of this ayah saying what? Eat and drink, but no israf. So when you are home, you want to pray, dress the best of your clothes. When you come, salah, that's why there are people in their cars, they've got special clothes for salah. When it's time for salat, Allah doesn't deserve the dress with oil on it and everything work on it. No. Allah deserves better, isn't it? If you invite me for a program, say your son's wedding, and I come anyhow, how do you feel? You may not approach me and say anything, but you will not feel, But when you see a person coming, nicely dressed, sometimes in the invitation they said dress formal. In the invitation, today people say dress formal. So Imam Hassan alayhi salam said, I am standing in front of my Lord, and the best way to stand in front of my Lord is to wear ajmal libasi, the most beautiful of all my clothes. That's the wording he used, ajmal libasi. That's how Ahlul Bayt used to approach Allah.
And even the rings on the fourth and fifth fingers of the hand, right hand, aqiq or pharaoh, rings.
Yeah, of course, rings are not just for beauty, they are also for protections. And they are sources of positive energies. And you have traditions from Ahlul Bayt on which ring to wear. That's a separate discussion, really. Which ring to wear, which ring not to wear. But that's the point. Imam alayhi salam used the Holy Quran to explain. Now let's go further. Let's go further. Kindly pay attention to this. You see, Imam alayhi salam gave tafsirs of different verses of the Holy Quran. And I thought it's important to pay attention to some of those verses Imam gave tafsir of. The first verse I would like to draw your attention to is very important verse. Chapter Al-Fath, verse 29. Open that chapter. Al-Fath, verse 29. You will see the verse if you open it. It's a very powerful verse.
Sorry, what was?
Chapter Al-Fath, verse 29. Quran 28, I think, yeah? Yeah, 48, verse 29. Verse 29, look at it. It's a long ayah. Have you look at the ayah? Just read it yourself. And then you tell me what you get out of this verse. We learn it. It's a long verse, but there's a point I'm going to explain only just to appreciate Ahlul Bayt brothers. We are blessed to have them. We are blessed. Are you done with the verse?
Verse 29.
Yeah, that's verse 29, yes, where it begins with the name of our beloved prophet. It begins with the name of the beloved prophet, Muhammad Rasulullah, isn't it? Yeah. Hey. Question. What do you get out of this verse? Just your reflection. Who can tell me quickly? One, excellent. It doesn't mean that if he doesn't have a mark, you are not praying. It doesn't mean that. But one of the signs is to have a mark. But Not when you go to Sajda, you grill your forehead on the turba. I'm coming. On the turba. No. But it's one of the signs. Simagum fi wujuhihim min athari sujud. And of course, mu'minin have other signs, which Imam Hassan al-Askari mentioned. One of them is putting ring on your right finger, for example. And the other one is doing 52 rak'at every day. 52 rak'at. Meaning you do all the wajibat and mustahabbat every day. Anyone who does that is a true believer. And then, of course, prostrating on turba. But here Quran says, when you see the believers, one of their signs, you see that Imam Zain al-Abidin, he's got Zuttafanat. He has this a lot on his forehead. Every year they used to cut it off many times. Sajda. Used to prolong sajda. Al-Bayt sajda. We don't play with sajda. That's one. Thank you. Second one, quickly, what lesson do we get? Fantastic. Ruhama'u baynahum. Companions of the Holy Prophet, they are compassionate. I love Imran Bhai. He loves me. I have Imran's back. He has my back. Whether he's around or not around, he is guaranteed that I will protect him. I don't do it on his face alone. Whether he's there or not, I protect him. Ruhamahu bainahum, companions of the Prophet. These are lessons for us. Number 3, what lesson? No, you are quoting don't quote all the verse. No. Yes, this is describing the lovers of the Holy Prophets. That first part of the ayah, I mean what? They don't allow enemies to break and divide them. Today you look at some of the community, we allow people to divide us. They don't allow anyone to come in between them. And at the same time, they are compassionate. But there is a line I want to show you because of time, which Imam Hassan gave tafsir of it. I will read the Arabic one and I take you to the English. Fastawa ala suqeh. If you look at the Arabic one. Fastawa ala suqeh. I'm going to give you the English one. That is their description in the Torah, and their description in the Gospel is as plant which produces its offshoots and strengthen them so they grow firm. And strengthen them so they grow firm. They ask Imam Hassan alayhi salam, what is the tafsir of this ayah? Guess what he said? Because tafsir, I must depend only on Ahl al-Bayt. Imam Hassan said, Istawal Islam bi Sayfi Ali. So Islam became firm through the sword of Ali. According to Imam Hassan alayhi salam, this is the tafsir of this ayah. And hence scholars said, beginning of the ayah, Allah mentioned Prophet Mohammed. And so that one who is the carrier of the mission of Prophet Muhammad is the Sayf of Ali, meaning Ali. And Prophet said, Ana Madinatul Ilmi wa Aliyun. That's the tafsir Imam Hassan gave. Another tafsir he gave, very important. Chapter Al-Qamar. Open chapter Al-Qamar for me. Chapter Al-Qamar. You know chapter Al-Qamar? I will give you. Chapter Al-Qamar is a test for you. I can't give you. 54, I'm going to give you the ayah. Chapter Al-Qamar, verse 4. No, not verse 4. Verse 4 is another one. We'll come to that if time permits us. Look at chapter Qamar, verse 49. 49. Today is a test day. Quran. You see, Ramadan, you need to engage with Quran like this. And tomorrow we take it high when we discuss Imam Hussein and Quran, inshallah. It's very powerful, man. You cry how the head of Imam Hussein recited Quran. I was preparing this lecture. When I got there, wallahi, I'm just sharing with you. Otherwise, this is too personal. I couldn't handle myself. But people saw the head of Imam Hussein reciting Quran, and they still threw dust on Sayyidah Zainab. And they still pelted Sayyidah Zainab. Can you imagine? The head is mu'jiza. And you still pelting dust on. And somebody even like holy, he ran away with the head. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Look at verse 49. Look at the ayah. It's a simple ayah. Inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu biqadar. Translation, indeed, all things we created with predestination. This is a very challenging verse. We as Shias, we don't believe in absolute free will and absolute determinism. We don't believe in that. There are Muslims who believe everything is predestined by Allah. Everything. So if I slap you, Allah wrote it that I will slap you. It's Muslims who believe in that. If you sleep on jobs and at the end of the month you have nothing, so why you worry? It is written. It's the qadr of Allah. Why you worry? If I come to mosque tonight, it's written I will come. If I go chill, I sit somewhere, baraza, a cup of tea, no Quran, no mosque, nothing. It is written, Allah wrote it, I will not. If it is this way, then what's the purpose of Qiyamah? If everything is written, then why Allah is saying there is Qiyamah? Why Salat? It means I will say, I'm praying because it is written, I will pray. I'm not praying, I'm not wearing hijab because it's written, I will not wear hijab. Why worried? Imam Jafar said, no. La jabra wa la tafwida innama al-amru bayna al-amrayn. It's not absolute free. You are not absolutely free. And at the same time, your life is not absolutely determined by Allah. It's in between. What does that mean if in between? Meaning you have a choice. When you decide to exercise your choice, then Allah makes it happen. That's why Allah makes you different from animals and angels. Why? Because angels, they have intellect. They don't have desire. So angels never go against Allah. Some angels, ever since created, they are in sajda and they will remain in sajda until the day of Qiyamah. Animals, they are given desire and imagination without intellect. Remember we mentioned this. That's why animals, they can eat anything, they can jump anything. But you, Baba, you have intellect, you have desire, you have imagination. So Allah has given you to exercise your choice. Don't become worse than animal, but become better than the angels. That's why you are called the Ashraful Makhluqat. Because you've got the potential to undertake actions by ensuring that your intellect manages your desire and imagination. They ask Imam Hassan alayhi salam, what is the meaning of this ayah? You know what he said? Guess. Who can take a guess? Not really. That's a good item, but a brother is saying he's understanding Imam Ali created for prophet. That's true. Imam Ali is door to prophetic knowledge. But that's not the tafsir Imam Hassan gave. You know Imam Hassan said? Inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu li ahli an-nar bikadri a'malihim. He said everything we're going to create for the people of hellfire on account of their deeds and actions. You know when you gossip, a flame of fire is created for you. Imam Zain al-Abidin said, every drop of a sin creates a flame of fire. And if there is no sincere tawbah, it makes the soul dark. When it becomes dark, somebody can scream, Allah, 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 you see nothing. So Imam said, everything is created for the people of hellfire on account of their deeds and actions. And the last one, then I open for your questions. As I said, we started very late tonight. The last one, open chapter Buruj. You know Buruj? Buruj. Not Burj Khalifa. But that's the meaning also, isn't it? You know Burj? What's the meaning? Excellent. Chapter number 85, verse number 3. And then we're done for tonight. Tomorrow we'll do more, inshallah. Abu Sayyid Shuhada. Who can recite the English for me? The Arabic. Somebody who has never recited here. MashaAllah, Doc, you recited very well, MashaAllah. Bless you, man. MashaAllah. Can anybody? No, not you. You are an Arab man, so it's easy for you. Quickly, can anybody recite for me? Dilshad Bhai, that's excellent to hear from Dilshad Bhai. First time. Okay, give him the mic.
Verse 3, وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ.
Ahsantu. Excellent. Good recitation. You see, that middle, he said, وَشَاهِدٍ, hidin. You know that wa? Who can tell me which letter is that wa? You should know. Because I trust your Quran. Which harf? No. So now you are going into Arabic grammar now. I'm going into Tajweed. So Arabic grammar, yes. But no, here we are talking Tajweed here. Tajweed and Okay, what's your name? Why we have a lot of Imran here? Imran Baba. Wala salamat inshallah. Imran. Excellent Imran. Which one is Tanween Imran? Inshallah, you will learn Tajweed, inshallah, in future. But you are right. But the wa is not Tanween. Tanween is what? Fatahatain, kasratain, dommatain. Washahidin, hidin, that is Tanween. So sometimes don't Tanween. Dan, these are all they call Tanween. Don't worry. The wa, who can tell me what's the wa? Doc. Can you remember, Doc? Which letter is that? Which harf? Yarmalun. So Yarmalun, you have ye, re, me, le, we, ne. These are 6 letters of what? Idgham. You know, we have what? Ahkam nun. Now I'm teaching Tajweed now. We have Nunu Sakina and Tanween. Nunu Sakina and Tanween was Nun. This Nun with cross. Nun. Yeah? They call it Nunu Sakina. And then you have Tanween. Fatahatain, Zommatain, Kasratain, as you say it. Yeah? So these two, Nunu Sakina and Tanween. There are 4 things. Izhar, Idgham, Iqlab, and Ikhfa. This is Idgham. Idgham, when it comes to so there is Tanween here, as Imran mentioned. Din. So you have wa. That wa is Idgham. You don't say wa shahidi wa mashhur. No, that's wrong. Wa shahidi. Why deo? Because of that wa. That wa appears after Tanween. If it appears after Nunu Sakina, the same thing you do. So that's Tajweed. Let's leave that one for now. But mashallah, Doc, Yarmalun. Excellent. Interesting. So, somebody went to the mosque of the Holy Prophets. This is my final point in the tafsir. And he saw 3 groups of people. For each group, there was someone who was giving tafsir of wa shahidin wa mashhud. So he went to the first person. Listen to this, yeah? And the first person said that shahid, if you look at the ayah, the translation, the witness. So the witness refers to the day of Jum'ah, Friday. And the mashhud, he said it refers to the day of Arafah. One scholar in the Mosque of the Prophet gave that meaning. So this gentleman then went to the other group. He saw another scholar. That scholar said, Shahid refers to Friday. But Mashhud refers to the day of Eid Qurban. Then he went to the last person. Last person said, no. Shahid refers to the holy prophets. And Mashhud refers to the day of Qiyamah. Which one of the three answers are right? Huh? Why? Because you love prophet.
Because to me, as the bearer of the witness and those against whom the witness is born, is maybe the prophets or the Imams, where they shall be a witness upon the people of what actions they do.
Okay. So that's what he's saying. Any other person? The first, second, or third? Third. Who is it? Okay. How? Why? Uh-huh. Okay. Any other person? Last person, then we conclude the discussion of tonight.
You mentioned something like this before, like before you there's tribes and the leader will be a witness as you will also be. So I think it's Shahid.
Refers to prophet.
Yeah, the prophet is Shahid.
Okay.
Against his people.
Okay, let me give you the answer.
Reluctantly, he doesn't like to do that, but
No.
he's obligated to be
Not
the Shahid.
reluctantly. The meaning of Shahid here, open Quran 48 verse 8. Surah Al-Fatih. I think Surah Al-Fatih is 48 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 48 verse 8. Just check it out. Then you'll get your answer. This Imam Hassan gave, not me. So I'm just sharing what Imam Hassan gave. Because Imam Hassan was in the third group. Have you seen the ayah? What's the answer? Prophet. Quran! You are right. But it's Quran. So Quran said, Inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhira. Shahid is prophet. You see how Quran is beautiful, eh? Wallah, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, if you are strong in Quran, I'm telling you, this I'm telling you out of experience. If you are familiar with the verse of the Quran, if you may not be like very scholar or whatever, when somebody gives you a verse, anyone who is familiar with the verse of God, you're able to pull it out to say, I think I read this word somewhere in the Quran, it's like this. Imam Ali said, Quran, you fassir ba'duha ba'd. The Quran explained itself. Why you go and beat around the bush, looking for something to explain Quran? Quran explained itself. Come to us, we hold you, your hand, we show you the verses. But the second one, you are telling me is Day of Judgment. How? Why are you saying it's Day of Judgment? Why are you saying Day of Judgment? Uh-huh. I'm checking the previous verse. Okay. You've got a good idea, Shuja boy, mashallah. Okay, let's finish this. Go to chapter Hud, verse 103. Hud. Yeah. Chapter Hud. Yeah, 11. 103. It gives you your answer, isn't it? Check the answer. So Ahl al-Bayt are walking Quran, man, speaking Quran, man. You can't, man. Ahl al-Bayt, extra large.
What's number?
Yeah, Hussein. Verse number 103. You know, people online tell me, don't repeat too much, so I don't want to repeat too much. I'm joking. Verse 103. Have you gotten it? You see, Quran is beautiful. What do you get, Shuja, there? What do you get there, Shuja? Yeah, read the English.
Surely in this is a sign for those who fear the torment of the hereafter, That is a day for which humanity will be gathered, and a day that will be witnessed.
Witnessed. That ayah of the Prophet, the word shahid is used. This ayah, yawmun mashhud. So Imam Hassan gave it. And then he said, he's not one of us who is far away from Quran. Ahlul Bayt fought for Quran. They got massacred because of their defense for Quran. You know, I always tell people this before I ask you ask your questions. Look at the life of Imam Hassan. Very painful life. Very painful. Why is painful? Some of those who rallied behind Imam Ali, they left Imam Hassan. They left him. Some looked at him and said, Assalamu alayka ya mudhill al-mu'minin. Oh, the miserable of all the believers. Zulm on Imam Hassan. We don't mention this too much. But he went through a lot of zulm. Some looked at him and they said to him, you are a humanizer. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So you hold on to his teachings, you make him happy. They told, and these are unfortunately in some terrible books, you marry the divorce, marry the divorce, marry the divorce, marry the divorce. Astaghfirullah. And they said Imam Hassan stood against Imam Ali. You know, I mentioned last night, you will lose someone so dear to you. Oh no, your enemy. They're going to bury your enemy. Will you take a knife and arrow to punch on the body? And they did that to Imam Hassan. They're going to carry the body and arrows on his body. Hazrat Abbas wanted to come forward. Imam Hussein said no. Our father and my brother said we shouldn't fight him. So please, brothers, let these sessions that we are having materialize in your lives. By so doing, you are keeping the legacies of Ahlul Bayt alive. You are keeping their legacies alive. And that is why I said tomorrow, it's a very painful one tomorrow. How the head of Hussein recited Quran. And inshallah, we'll demonstrate tomorrow. Not only the head of Hussein recited Quran, so that somebody argue, we prove. There are so many other heads, miraculously. But the one that the head of Hussein recited more verses than the others. They fought for Quran, man. Gadir is about preservation of the Quran, man. Interpretation of the Quran. So hold on to this. You'll never go wrong. Every day you wake up in your house, before you sleep, make sure Quran is recited in that house. Every day. Every day. Every day. Make it a point as the takeaway for tonight. Make it a point. Before you all sleep, Quran is recited in that house. Now, inshallah, you can ask your questions and then we make dua.